everybody. So today I have something special with me. I have a globe. Do you know what a globe is? We had one at casa. A globe is a model of the earth. The earth is a sphere, right? It's not a flat circle. It's three-dimensional, it's big and round, it's a sphere, like a ball. Well, here's my globe, and here is North America. Now you might notice that my globe spins. That's because the earth spins too. Not only does the earth go around the sun in an orbit, but it also rotates on its axis. This right here is the Earth's axis. The Earth isn't completely straight up. It's a little tilted, and like a top, it spins while going around the sun at the same time. If that was me, I would get super dizzy. Luckily, we can't really feel the Earth rotating, and we can't feel the Earth orbiting. Otherwise, I'd get a little dizzy. Now, it's super important that the Earth rotates while it's orbiting. When it rotates, it allows the Earth to spin, and all the continents get a turn to look at the sun. Here's North America and South America, right? Well, if the Earth didn't spin, then guess what? Asia and Australia and Europe and Africa wouldn't get much time with the sun. Now here's Antarctica, all the way at the bottom. Antarctica doesn't get as much sun, which is usually why it can stay nice and snowy, because the sun will help melt snow, and we don't want Antarctica to melt, right? So as the Earth is rotating and orbiting, all the different continents get turns to have sunlight. Now you might notice that right now the video you're watching looks a little funny, it looks a little dark. And that's because I wanted to film this video in the dark so that I could show you what it looks like with the sun. Now the Earth has two hemispheres. It has two halves, right? Just like your brain has two hemispheres, two halves, the right and the left. The Earth has an east and a west. We are in the west, and then continents like Asia are in the east. Now, when it's daytime in the west, guess what? It's nighttime in the east. Isn't that crazy? We live in New York. My sister lives in Korea, which is right here in Asia. So the complete opposite side of the world. And isn't it so funny that when I wake up in the morning, she's going to bed. And when she wakes up in the morning, I'm going to bed. It's opposite. Now, if the Earth never rotated, she would never get a turn to have sunlight. So the Earth has to keep rotating. Now I'm going to turn off the light, and I want to show you what it means when the sun is shining on one half or one hemisphere of the Earth. I'm going to use this big flashlight, this big lamp, to show you. Okay? Now, this lamp is so bright, it doesn't even look like I turned the lights off, but I did. This is the sun. The sun is super bright, right? Now, here's the sun shining on the Earth. And do you notice that there's light on this side of the Earth? But if I hadn't shown you the Earth before, you might not know that there's this side too, this hemisphere. It's so dark and so black right now because the sun is shining in the west. Well, guess what? The Earth rotates, and now the other continents have a turn. Now it's daytime in Asia and nighttime in New York. Everyone in North America is sleeping right now. But then the Earth rotates again. And now it's good morning, New York, good morning, North America, and good night to everybody else. Good night to Asia, good night on the other side of the world. And see, it'll keep rotating. Now it's daytime over here and nighttime in New York. Look now, Africa gets some sun, Europe gets some sun. Now it's on the ocean, and look, New York and South America. And then it spins, oh, there's Hawaii, here's Australia, Japan, Russia, China, India. So many countries are getting a turn to have daytime, while the other countries are having a turn to have nighttime. So it's super important that the Earth rotates while it still travels around the sun. Now, while the Earth is doing that, you might notice that at night you see the moon. We haven't really talked much about the moon yet. Is the moon a star like the sun? I don't think so. Is it a planet like the Earth? It's too tiny. Well, the moon is its own thing. The moon is kind of like a rock. And here I have this balloon here to pretend it's the moon. Balloons don't light up, right? If I turn my sun away, the balloon's going to get dark. Look at it in the shadow. Balloons don't make their own light. And the moon doesn't make their own light either. The moon actually can reflect light like a mirror from the sun. So when the moon is over here, look at it's glowing. You can see it. Depending on where the moon is moving, because the moon orbits the Earth, is whether or not we have a full moon, where we can see the entire circle of the moon, or we have a new moon, which means we can't see it because it's completely dark. So this is what the sun, the Earth, and the moon do together. They kind of work as a team. The moon goes around the Earth goes around the sun, and the sun gives us light while we orbit and rotate around. Now, I always have a lot of fun doing this. If you have a flashlight at home, you can try this also. If you have a flashlight, you can go in a room that's dark with the lights off, right? If you're nervous, ask a grown-up to go with you. You can go in a room with a flashlight and a globe. Now, if you don't have a globe, that's okay. Let me switch the lights back on. That lamp, that sun is super bright. If you don't have a globe, that's okay. Now, before I had a globe, I've used other things. You could use a balloon. You can use Play-Doh. Make a big sphere out of your Play-Doh. Make a big ball. You can use anything you'd like to. You can even use a soccer ball. And you can use the flashlight and see how one side is illuminated, is all bright and sunny, while the other side is sleeping. And then when it rotates, it's somebody else's turn for daytime and someone else's turn for nighttime. You can give it a try and see what you discover. Bye.